So for the first 5 years of living in Madrid, I gave nightly tapas tours here through the center. I would meet my guests here by the statue of this queen, Isabel II, who was the victim of a lot of unfair rumors, probably unfair, including that she was a nymphomaniac. And over the course of those early Devour tours, I really learned what the most common mistakes are that people make when they come and visit Madrid. And look, while there's not a lot of tourism right now, as you can see, it's pretty quiet. When you do finally get here, I really hope that these tips will help you have a more authentic, a more enjoyable, and a more memorable time in the city. All right, you ready, Yoly?
Always for you.
Okay, first stop, Plaza Mayor. So Yoly, speaking as a Madrileña, why should you eat in the Plaza Mayor?
No, no way.
Why not?
Because their restaurants are average, and I feel you're gonna get ripped off.
Okay, fair
mainly.
point. So there's a thing my dad always taught me, and he said, never eat in a restaurant that has a great view. And the logic makes sense, right? The food's not gonna be good, potentially, or it's gonna be overpriced because the place gets lazy and relies on the view. And it's kind of like that in the Plaza Mayor. I wish I could recommend that you come and have a meal here, but it's just gonna be overpriced and most likely average. That's just the reality. If you look on Google, there's all these one-star reviews of people who have kind of eaten here. There's even a guy who ate pizza. If there's anything worse than eating in the Plaza Mayor, it's ordering pizza. But there is one good place, a place that I would recommend. It's called Los Galayos, and it's over in that corner, so you can check that one out.
But hang on, I have another recommendation, which is having calamari sandwich, bocadillo de calamares in La Campana, also very close by over there.
That's
great, yeah?
Yeah, I mean, having a calamari sandwich is a super local thing to do, and actually you can buy it there and come and sit in the Plaza Mayor and have it there. That's what the Madrileños like Yoly do. So if you do want to enjoy the Plaza Mayor, and it makes sense, this place is beautiful and historic, then come and order a glass of wine and maybe have a café con leche in the Plaza Mayor.
There is nothing quite like a relaxing cup of café con leche in Plaza Mayor.
You're gonna pay a little more, but how wrong can they get it? And while I've got you, the other thing my father taught me is never eat in a revolving restaurant. You're not gonna have that issue in Madrid presently, but keep that in mind. Okay, now there's another place alongside here that's super famous for eating in Madrid. You'll have heard all about it, but it has to be approached with caution. And that's gonna be tip number 2 once we've finished our cafés con leche in the Plaza Mayor.
Stop.
So look, the Mercado San Miguel behind me, this beautiful old market that's now a gourmet tapas hall, is one of the most popular places for tourists to visit and eat tapas when they come to Madrid. And I get it, the place it's awesome, it's fun, but it's just not that authentic, and it's kind of expensive. So I think it's a great place to kind of kick off, in some ways, your tapas adventure in Madrid, but it shouldn't be the end point. There are some good places in there. There's a great vermouth place, there's a great wine bar, but a lot of the cooked tapas just kind of isn't that great. I actually made a video about it, about how to tackle the Mercado San Miguel, which you can check out below. So it's closed at the moment because of COVID. It will open again. So yeah, when you're here, get your sea legs there, but then move on and dive into the authentic tapas bars here in the capital. So my father is an intelligent, cultured man, but when he first came to Madrid, I remember him saying to me that he felt daunted by the idea of going to the Prado. He kind of wasn't looking forward to it that much. This is the most famous art museum in the world right behind me, but I totally get it. I met a lot of people on tour who were here, and I felt like they were going to the big 3 art galleries here, the Prado, the Thyssen, the Reina Sofia, almost out of a sense of obligation, like that's what you do in Madrid. And look, we're not all art experts, and sometimes you're standing in front of paintings and you're looking at them and it's a bit boring because you don't really know what you're looking at. So first of all, I give you permission to have a culturally rich time in Madrid and not go to the galleries, right? But I think you should go to the big 3, and here's why. So the Prado has wonderful art by Velázquez and Goya and so much more, but those are great Spanish artists. The Reina Sofia has Picasso, and it has, you know, images from the Spanish Civil War, and the Thyssen just kind of has a whole bunch of other stuff. So they're really, really great. But if you're gonna go, there's 2 things I would suggest. Do some research first. Don't just kind of stumble in and try and see everything. You know, there are apps, there are books, there's blogs online. I actually wrote a city guide this year, which helps you have a super authentic and local time in Madrid, and it includes how to tackle the big 3 art galleries. I'll link to that down below. The other thing is, consider doing a tour. We did a tour when my parents came, and it just kind of opened it up. So we have the Prado Botín tour at Devour Tours, where you go to the Prado and you go and eat in the oldest restaurant in the world. There's also a great company I know, the guides who give art tours, and I'll link those guys down below as well.
extra tip here from me: be selective about the artists and maybe the styles that you want to see, and don't try to do all 3 museums in the same day. Even don't do all 3 museums. No pressure. So I'm a huge proponent of this one. If you're staying in the city center, don't just jump in an Uber or a taxi. Walk everywhere. Everything is in walking distance in the center. The streets are narrow, gorgeous. The journey will actually take you longer if you're in a taxi. So my advice, just go ahead and walk. It's not only cheaper, it's also healthier. Maybe you had 1 too many glasses of wine, you're gonna burn the alcohol off by just walking home.
So the other thing I would say is the public transport system here in Madrid is really efficient and really effective and cheap and fast. So the metro, particularly for getting around the center, also the bus system. So I would definitely use that. That would even be faster than walking or taking an Uber, right?
Totally, yeah.
And would you say, Yoly, speaking as a woman, like walking around the evening, do you feel safe?
It is safe, it feels safe. I mean, no matter what time it is, you will feel safe.
Because there's always people around, right?
Yeah, totally.
So yeah.
People walking everywhere.
Locals walking. Okay, the next one. Follow me. I want to show you guys something. So, you see up here, there's an issue with paella in Madrid. You know, these look delicious and beautiful, beautiful photography. So here's the rule. The quality of a paella is inversely proportionate to the quality of the paella advertising. So if you see a beautiful little kind of flyer on a table or beside a restaurant, a little sandwich board that has these perfect paella photos, that's gonna be a frozen paella they're serving you. Look, if you took all the paellas that are served to tourists in Madrid, probably 50% are frozen.
So terrible.
40% are just bad and 10% are good. So you really have to know where to look, right? And you don't want to get this stuff. And why is it hard to get a good paella in Madrid? Well, the thing is, it's a regional dish. It's from Valencia. So you actually have to go to a rice restaurant or a Valencian restaurant to get a great, authentic one. And it should take at least 20 minutes for them to prepare it. If it comes out in 5 minutes, it was probably frozen. So I'm going to drop some links in the description below of legit places to get paella in Madrid, so you don't end up with a frozen one while you're here. So I think some people sometimes think that in Madrid, the good tapas bars are the ones where you can have, 3 glasses of wine and you've had your full dinner because of all the mountains of free tapas you'll get, with your drink. Look, you do get a free something to nibble on in Madrid. Here we got some olives, that's quite typical. Sometimes you'll get a piece of cheese on bread or some chorizo or a couple of boquerones, but you're not going to get a full meal. And actually, if you do get a full meal with your tapas, sometimes that can be a bad sign, a sign of lower quality. There's a place called El Tigre, which just gives mountains of food with your drink, which is great if you're on a budget, but it's not the best place to eat in Madrid. So I think shift your thinking a little bit on that. Actually, another word for the tapa in Madrid is el aperitivo, the aperitif, something to go with your drink to open your appetite. And the tapas culture just changes all over Spain. In Granada, that's where you can have dinner with each of your drinks, but not here. So in that city guide to Madrid that I mentioned, that I'll link below, I also demystify the whole Madrid tapas scene for you, because really what you want to be doing is ordering raciones. That's what these are, and not trying to survive off the tapas, because you're gonna starve. Okay, while we're on tapas, guys, if you ever get this or see this on a menu, this is secreto ibérico, and it's one of the juiciest cuts of pork. I want to kind of give you the confidence to not sweat the surly service that you're going to get in Madrid. See, in this city, there's 2 types of service from the waiters. There's bad service like there is all over the world. That's one thing, but then there's castizo service. And castizo is a word that means traditional or authentic. And what that means in the context of a Madrid bar is they won't be necessarily smiling all the time or like, hi, I'm Michael, I'll be your waiter tonight, or full of kind of pleases and thank yous. But that doesn't mean it's bad service. No, I should say these guys at La Casa del Abuelo, they are not like that. They're super friendly. But Yoly, why is that? Why is it like that?
Well, I mean, they need to be efficient, right? And so there's no time for pleasantries and thank yous and pleases.
Those damn pleasantries.
Exactly. To me, when a waiter is good, when a good Madrileño waiter is there for you, they feel like they are reading your mind. They're like wizards,
Actually, when I started giving tapas tours here, and I wasn't used to that kind of service, sometimes I would think that they all hated me, the tapas bar owners that I would take people to on the tours. I would come home to Yoly and I was sad, and I was like, they don't like me. The tapas bar owners don't love me, Yoly.
Oh, darling, you will become used to them,
They just don't love me.
No,
they're just so mean to me.
No, the way they are, the way they serve is that way. They need to be quick, You'll get used to them.
but it's not that. I've learned to kind of expect it now, and I've learned to understand it. And they need to be efficient. They need to get everyone served as quickly as possible. Okay, look, I know it's a weird time right now, guys, but if you're thinking of coming to Madrid in the future, check out that city guide that I've mentioned a couple times, Madrid Revealed. I'll link to it below. It's got off the beaten path tapas bars. It's got great neighborhood guides. It's pretty much my 10 years living in Madrid distilled down into one beautiful guide. I'm quite proud of it. And if you're worried it might be out of date because of COVID, don't worry. Once things open up again, I'm going to give it an update where necessary, and I'll send out the update to you for free. So cheers from Madrid, salud, and I don't know, what else do I say? Don't do the wrong things and do all the right things. Ciao.